I remember the screaming at the beginning of Dark Side of the Moon always having an effect on me. So I was quite fascinated with that record when I was a child, and I listened to it quite a lot. And I guess it was through, maybe possibly through hearing the song On the Run on side one of that album, which maybe got me interested in synthesizers. In high school, I began to rent equipment, 8-track reel-to-reels, small mixing consoles. I was into manipulating cassettes, using multiple cassette recorders. I was sort of obsessed with it as a teenager. I was really into Skinny Puppy and Severed Heads as a teenager, and Brian Eno, and my tastes definitely leaned towards experimental and avant-garde music, and music that was challenging, music that could achieve emotional response without lyrics. You know, a lot of the American movement, the Riley, Lamont Young, John Cale sort of drone movement, I was turned on to that through discovering Brian Eno. I would follow these threads. I mean, there's the isolationist sort of aspect of music, and I appreciate that for doing certain types of music. But I like the communal experience of music, and I'm a drummer. I like playing. I play the bass guitar. I play the drums. I like playing keyboards. So if I'm with 2 or 3 other people that are playing, and we're all listening to each other, and we're playing off of each other, that's a very unique experience in and of itself that one can't have alone. And then of course my project with Kevin, and then I do my own stuff. My own stuff is more just, you know, it's not really music that can be performed or played. It's more just kind of recordings of weird passages and melodies and things like that on infinite loop. Oh, my first piece of Roland gear was a Jupiter 6. My first time using a sequencer was on a D20, which was a Roland keyboard. And I learned how to multi-track sequence on a D20. And I got an 808 shortly thereafter. I don't know what it is about that machine. Maybe it's sentimental value, but I love the sound of it. I love how punchy it is. I love the kick sound and the hi-hat sound on it. I just love that machine. It's like it's something that I think I'll always have. I couldn't see myself ever selling it unless I quit music altogether. You know, and I believe the new machines are doing a good job of emulating those sounds. It's an interesting thing. As I get older, you know, there's a status element to having the vintage stuff, and I have it in me too, sort of an object fetishism kind of thing, where it's like, well, people will think I'm cool if they come over and see all the vintage gear on my shelf, but they don't actually care. And the fact is that in the music you can't even tell. Like if I can't tell, I doubt anybody else can tell whether that's a real 909 or a TR-8 or whatever. I really like it. I find these sounds here actually remind me of another synthesizer I have here in the studio, the Oberheim TVS-1. It has a nice sort of vintage warmth to it, and the sub oscillator is fantastic, and I'm excited about this little guy here. I actually feel that it would, just listening to it, I feel it would cut through a mix, that it would be audible, that it would take up its own space in the frequency spectrum and be distinct and not get buried. I like it very much. Well, I did an album last year, and it got released on vinyl, and I love doing that. I love doing an album, but I'm also quite impatient to get the stuff out once it's made. You know, there's great records from the 70s, like the Kraftwerk records, They have beats, and they achieve their timelessness mostly through through the quality of the songwriting and the production, but also through their kind of pioneering spirit, their ability to spearhead a completely new direction in music. That afforded them a timeless stature. Now the quest is on to make the timeless piece of music that never sounds old or dated or cliche or anything. It's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool.